All right, here's your second exercise. I want you to get all the published front-end and back-end courses, sort them by their price in a descending order from most expensive to least expensive. Pick only their name and author and display them on the console. So I'm going to create a new file. Let's call it solution2.js. Now to save time, I'm going to copy some code from our previous solution. So let's go to solution 1, copy everything, paste it here. Now we only need to modify this query. So we want to get all the published front-end and back-end courses. So in our find method, we have isPublished set to true. That's perfect. However, our tags is currently set to backend. Now, if I set this to an array of 2 strings, backend and frontend, this will not work because this will return courses that have both these tags. So here, the logical AND operator will be applied. So we need to modify this and use the in operator that I explained in the lecture about comparison operators. So let's remove this array. We set this tags property to an object. In this object, we're going to have key value pairs. Our keys are MongoDB operators. In this case, $in. Now, what JavaScript construct can we use to represent multiple values? We use an array, right? So we set this to an array of 2 strings, front end and back end. Now there is another way to write this query. We can use the logical OR operator, and I'm going to show you that in a second. So let's finish the first solution. Now, we need to sort them by their price in a descending order. So we set this to -1, or as I told you before, you can pass a string and set this to -price. Either way, that's perfectly fine. For this solution, I'm going to use this syntax. And finally, we need to pick the name and author of these courses. So I'm going to set this to a string like this, name and author. Now, let's run this and make sure our application is working. So node solution2.js. So you should get 5 courses here. We have Node and ASP.NET, which are backend courses. We have Angular, which is a front-end course. And again, we have a Node course by Jack and Express.js, which are both backend courses. Now, to make sure that our sorting is done properly, I would like to display the price of these courses as well. So I'm going to modify our select method to add the price. Now let's run this one more time. All right, you can see the most expensive course comes first and the least expensive course comes last. Beautiful. I told you that there is another way to write this query. So instead of the in operator, we can use the or operator. So we want all these courses to be published. So this is the required part. Now, for tags, they should either be front end or back end. So I'm going to break this into 2 parts. The first part, we're only going to have the publish criteria. After that, we use the OR method. Now, what JavaScript construct can we use to store multiple values, multiple objects? We use an array. And for an OR operator, we need multiple operands, right? So we pass an array. In this array, we need 2 objects, 2 filtering objects. So here's the first one. We set tags to front end. And another similar object, we set tags to backend. This approach is also perfectly fine. Now, back in terminal, let's run the application one last time. And we get the exact same result. Beautiful.